Recorded.
All right, so I like to, I've been recording my sermons lately. People like to hear them. Look at them online, look at them on the website. So we have this prayer every day, 3 times a day. And you read it earlier in the English. O Lord, guard my tongue from evil and my lips from speaking falsely. Good stuff. But nobody does it. Nobody does it. People gossip. They talk about people. They talk about things. They don't talk about things that are true. It amazes me how much in our society, and I know this is bordering on political statements, but you hear it all over the place. People love to demean people. They talk about things that people do. They talk about things that they think people do. They talk about things that people don't do, but they talk about them anyway. They make it up because they can't find bad things to say about people. Why do they do it? Well, let's go back to the beginning. Why is this in our liturgy, our prayers, 3 times a day, every single day of our life? That paragraph, we say it 3 times a day, no matter what the day is. What is the first thing of the Torah? What are the first things that happened when the universe was created? And God said. The Hebrew word for said is diber. The Hebrew word for thing is davar. It's basically the same word. Words are that powerful. God created the universe by speaking. Now that's the religious aspect. The scientific aspect, we can get to it another time. But that is the religious aspect. When God told Adam, take care of the Garden of Eden and name all the things in the garden, the Midrash, the folklore that goes along with the text of the Torah and the Kabbalah, talk about the fact that Adam named everything based on what they are. When you get a Hebrew name, that name is not just an identification. It speaks to your essence. People that are born, they are given a Hebrew name based on maybe an ancestor. People who become Jewish after they're born, they think of a name that suits them, that they can relate to. People don't do that with other names, but they do that with their Hebrew name. It's that important. That tells you how key, how critical words are. That thing we used to say when we were kids. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names may never hurt me. Nobody ever spent 30 years in therapy because somebody threw a stick or stone at them. Right? Words hurt. And we have so much of it today. So what do you do about it? We have to get back to mitzvah. We have to get back to doing commandments. The sages say when somebody gossips, they hurt 3 people. The one that said it, the one they're talking about, and all the other people that hear it. Be the person that doesn't hear it. Be the person to say to that person, look, I don't know what that person did to you or what your relationship is to them, but I think if you have a gripe with them, you should go to them directly and deal with it. Because I don't feel comfortable listening to you demean somebody. What do you do when you're watching TV and that's going on? You turn it off. Do they still do Nielsen ratings? Anybody know what a Nielsen rating is?
Yes.
I'm looking at some of the younger people here. Jenny's shaking her head. What's a Nielsen rating? Okay, so back in the good old days when we had like, I don't know, 6 channels instead of 600,
Yeah.
there was a company called AC Nielsen, and they would keep track of who had their TV on, when, and what they were watching. That's how they figured out how much to charge for ad time and whether shows would make it to the next season. Now, they have some similar thing today, obviously, because, you see, they're keeping statistics today. I don't know if they've gotten more sophisticated about it or what, but I know they're doing it.
YouTube,
Huh?
YouTube does it.
YouTube.
YouTube.
You're right.
Same thing, YouTube as well, TikTok, all those things, right? How many hits do you get? So you don't, when you see newscasters, okay, that are not necessarily reporting the news and giving their opinion, okay, I'd be happy to hear what your take is on it. But when you get people start to say things that may not be true, turn it off. One of the things that I've taken to personally is I read the news. And I'll read the headline, and if I get down and I see that they're starting to I just get rid of the article. I don't want to hear it. And that's what we got. That's the only way we're going to stop this, because it's become capital in our time. People do that. You see somebody demeaning somebody in your life, you stop it. You put a stop to it right away. You do not reinforce it. Why do people gossip? Because people listen. Because it feels good. It feels good to hear somebody demean someone else. And do you know why that is? Do you know what people get out of listening to gossip? Oh, I'm glad that's not me. Oh, I'm better than that. Oh, that person's a real jerk. And if they're a real jerk, that means I'm better than them. So I can just add another tick to my self-esteem. That's what it's all about. It makes people feel powerful to demean somebody. You take the power away by saying, I'm not going to listen. Directly or indirectly. That's the only way this is going to stop. It's gotten worse. And it's gotten worse because that's what people listen to. That's what they tune into. So we have to stop it in our personal lives and in our public lives. So remember that. Oh Lord, guard my tongue from evil and my lips from speaking guile. Guard my heart from hatred and my mind from harmful thoughts. Help me to avoid shameful speech. Not just my speech, someone else's speech. As well as shameful silence, not speaking up when somebody starts demeaning and castigating someone else. Right? May my words be messengers of your will. Key phrase right there. May my words be messengers of your will. That's what we are as Jews. We bring light unto the world by making examples. Somebody says something you don't think is true, ask them, well, where'd you hear that? I'm curious, because I didn't hear that. Where'd you hear it? Oh, well, someone told me. Who was that someone? How do they know? And you'll get shut down. Well, and that's the end of the conversation. That's all you got to do. Okay, so I wanted to make that point about shameful speech, Lashon Hara, right? Lashon, the tongue, Ra, bad speech. So let's think about that, because the only way we're going to make a difference is by doing it one-on-one individually.